Welcome back, fight fans. Today we're diving deep into the octagon to relive some jaw-dropping and controversial moments that left us all in awe. From shocking knockouts to heated rivalries, we've got it all. So buckle up, because this is a journey you won't want to miss. Our first stop takes us back to the thrilling encounter between Eric Silva and Nordine Taleb at UFC 196. This bout not only showcased incredible skill, but also a jaw-dropping moment of gamesmanship that left fans and fighters alike in disbelief. The stage was set for an action-packed showdown. Eric Silva, known for his exciting fighting style, was up against Nordine Taleb, a tough competitor with his own set of skills. As the first round kicked off, something unexpected happened. In the opening moments of the fight, Eric Silva extended his hand toward Nordine Taleb as a sign of sportsmanship, a customary gesture to touch gloves before the battle begins. Taleb, displaying his own respect for the fight game, reciprocated by reaching out to touch gloves with Silva. However, just when Taleb went in for the glove touch, Silva pulled off a move that left everyone in shock. Instead of a friendly gesture, Silva sucker punched Taleb right in the face. It was a stunning betrayal of sportsmanship and an audacious start to the fight. Not content with the sucker punch, Silva continued to taunt his opponent. He danced around the octagon, putting on a show, while Taleb was left reeling from the unexpected strike.
Right back up, Silva trying to engage. Oh, look at that! Wow. Touch of gloves, kind of.
Silva's actions added a layer of drama and controversy to the fight that would be remembered for years to come. We're now diving into the second segment of our countdown, and this one involves a fierce showdown between Tito Ortiz and Guy Mezger at UFC 19. This fight held tremendous significance because it marked a redemption opportunity for Tito Ortiz. In their previous encounter, Mezger had defeated Ortiz by a guillotine choke in the first round at UFC 13. This rematch was about settling the score. Leading up to UFC 19, tensions between Ortiz and Mezger escalated dramatically. Both fighters engaged in a war of words and displayed a level of animosity that had fans eagerly anticipating their clash in the octagon. Once the fight began, Tito Ortiz showcased his superior wrestling skills and put on a one-sided beating. He controlled Mezger throughout the bout, utilizing his ground and pound to deliver a relentless assault. As the first round progressed, Ortiz's dominance reached its peak, and the referee had no choice but to step in and stop the fight, declaring Tito Ortiz the winner by TKO. However, it was what happened after the fight that made this moment truly unforgettable. Ortiz didn't just settle for victory, he took things to the next level. After the fight was stopped, Tito Ortiz began taunting Guy Mezger. He started flipping him off, showing no mercy in his victory celebration. It was a display of raw emotion and pent-up frustration. As if that wasn't enough, Ortiz went on to don a t-shirt that further provoked Mezger, making a bold statement that added even more fuel to their fiery rivalry. In the third segment, we look back at UFC 84 when BJ Penn defended his title against Sean Sherk. The fight ended in dramatic fashion with Penn delivering a flying knee knockout in the third round, securing a TKO victory. Post-fight, Penn celebrated by licking his gloves and taunting Sherk with his own blood, creating an unforgettable moment. In the fourth segment, we revisit the intense rivalry between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier at UFC 214. This bout saw Jones pushing the pace and outstriking Cormier, eventually winning via unanimous decision.
Sends Jones retreating. He's just having a hard time reaching Jon. Oh, Jon landed a high kick. He's hurt. DC was stunned by that head kick. Jones trying to press the issue here.
However, it was the post-fight taunting, with Jones telling Cormier to suck it, that left a lasting impression. In our fifth segment, let's take a closer look at the fiery clash between Michael Bisping and Jorge Rivera at UFC 127. This bout was characterized by a bitter exchange of words and a deeply personal rivalry. During the fight, Bisping landed an illegal knee, resulting in a point deduction. Despite the setback, Bisping persevered and eventually secured a TKO victory in the third round. However, what made this moment unforgettable was Bisping's post-fight behavior. He spat in Jorge Rivera's corner, leading to disciplinary actions and fines. It was a controversial ending to an already heated rivalry. In our sixth segment, we revisit the intense rivalry between Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate at UFC 168. Their feud had been brewing for a while, and this fight was the culmination of their animosity. Inside the octagon, Ronda Rousey showcased her high-level judo skills, continuously hip-tossing Miesha Tate. The fight eventually ended with Rousey securing a submission victory via armbar in the third round. However, it wasn't the fight's outcome that left a lasting memory. After the fight, Miesha Tate extended her hand for a sportsmanlike handshake, but Ronda Rousey refused, receiving a chorus of boos from the crowd. It was a moment of bitter rivalry that lingered long after the fight was over.
Ronda Rousey remains the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion. Winner by armbar.
Wow, she went to shake Ronda's hand and Ronda walked away from her.
In our 7th segment, we revisit the historic clash between Brock Lesnar and Frank Mir at UFC 100. This fight had a lot riding on it as Lesnar sought to avenge his previous loss to Mir. Inside the octagon, Brock Lesnar utilized his high-level wrestling skills to take Frank Mir down and delivered a dominating performance. He eventually secured a TKO victory in the second round. However, it wasn't just the fight itself that left a lasting impression. After the victory, Lesnar went on a verbal tirade, yelling insults at Mir, flipping off the crowd, and even insulting the event's main sponsor, Bud Light. His post-fight antics created a buzz and made this moment unforgettable. In our 8th segment, we revisit the explosive showdown between Josh Koscheck and Paul Daley at UFC 113. This fight was not just about in-cage action, but also the intense build-up and post-fight drama. Inside the octagon, Josh Koscheck showcased his high-level wrestling, controlling Paul Daley and neutralizing his striking. Koscheck also talked trash throughout the fight. However, it was the shocking post-fight moment that truly defined this bout. Paul Daley, frustrated by the loss, punched Koscheck after the fight, resulting in his release from the UFC. On number 9, we delve into the career of Jon Jones. Over the time, Jon Jones has emerged as one of the most polarizing figures in the UFC, largely due to his controversial conduct outside the octagon. His exceptional fighting skills inside the cage have often been overshadowed by a string of disgraceful incidents. Notably, he has faced doping allegations on 2 separate occasions, contributing to the tarnishing of his professional reputation. However, perhaps his most disrespectful moment in the octagon occurred during his fight against Daniel Cormier at UFC 182. The tension between the two had escalated to one of the most intense rivalries in UFC history, stemming from a pre-event press conference that erupted into a physical altercation when Cormier shoved Jones, prompting a chaotic scuffle. Inside the cage, Jones dominated much of the fight, knowing he held a considerable advantage on the scorecards. With only seconds remaining, rather than coasting to the final bell, Jones decided to exhibit extreme disrespect. He raised his arms in premature celebration and continued to deliver punches to Cormier. As the final buzzer sounded, Jones directed a classic pro wrestling taunt, a crotch chop toward his adversary, further cementing his disrespectful behavior.
This ultimate grudge match. Look at this. Goes the distance. Perhaps maybe all the bad blood has not boiled over.
He then confidently strutted away to revel in his victory. The defeat left Cormier visibly shattered, and in a subsequent interview, Jones exacerbated the disrespect by stating that he hoped Cormier was crying somewhere. This comment only reinforced Jones's lack of regard for his opponent's feelings, doubling down on his disrespectful actions both in and out of the octagon. Despite the unconventional start, the fight continued, and both fighters gave it their all. But that unforgettable opening moment set the tone for a bout filled with tension and animosity. In this 10th segment, we're taking a trip down memory lane to one of the most legendary fights in UFC history, Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen II. Host: the rivalry between Anderson the Spider Silva and Chael the American Gangster Sonnen had reached a boiling point. Their first encounter at UFC 117 saw Sonnen dominate Silva for nearly 5 rounds before succumbing to a dramatic last-minute submission. The rematch at UFC 148 was highly anticipated, and both fighters had engaged in a war of words that only fueled the fire. What transpired inside the octagon that night was nothing short of iconic. Chael Sonnen once again displayed his exceptional wrestling skills, controlling Silva on the ground for much of the fight. He was well on his way to repeating his earlier victory. But then, in the final round, with only 2 minutes left on the clock, Anderson Silva unleashed a spectacular comeback. He landed a knee to Sonnen's chest, followed by a flurry of punches that rocked Sonnen. Silva capitalized on the opportunity, and with just over a minute left, he secured a TKO victory, retaining his middleweight championship. The dramatic shift in momentum was breathtaking. This fight was not only a testament to Anderson Silva's resilience, but also to the unpredictable nature of MMA. It remains one of the most talked about and celebrated moments in UFC history. Join us as we relive the most thrilling and controversial moments inside the octagon. Engage in the conversation, share your thoughts, and tell us about your favorite jaw-dropping fight moments in MMA history. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more exhilarating content from the world of combat sports. Your engagement fuels our discussions, and your input shapes our future content. Don't miss out on the adrenaline-pumping stories and analysis from the realm of mixed martial arts. Join us in celebrating the unforgettable moments that define the fight game. Keep watching, keep discussing, and keep embracing the electrifying world of combat sports with us.